Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. We are just moments past the FOMC statement, and the markets have been moving pretty well in the last hour, and we've got some great levels to look for. We're just about 19 minutes before the close of the U.S. markets. You can see that things will probably close a little bit in the negative. The Dow's a few points down, S&P's a little bit down, oil's kind of holding, and gold is actually been working its way. It's been a little bit channeled the last several hours, but it's working its way back down again as well. We're going to talk a little bit about some of that Fed news. But quickly today, what we've seen so far is we did see the FOMC statement. We've had all kinds of news this morning. We've had the ADP non-farm numbers; those came out positive. We've had ISM numbers; those came out better than last month, less than what was expected for this month. And then we had the FOMC statement. Keep in mind, we do have retail sales from Australia and trade balance. These are going to be two big movers. So any trades on the Aussie dollar, which we're going to talk about in a moment, keep an eye on those two reports. And they're about 6 hours or so from now. The FOMC statement, on the other hand, the Fed just kind of reiterated that they will participate in more easing and more printing dollar bills if necessary and when necessary, and they're ready to act, but they're not acting yet. And the markets didn't love that so much. The dollar continued to rally, stocks took another hit, and so on and so forth. Coming into the European and UK sessions, we have retail sales from Switzerland. But important, super important, is we have interest rate announcements out of the UK. We have interest rate announcements out of Europe, and then we have the statements, the press conference and statements and so on out of the UK and Europe as well. So tomorrow morning is going to be very active. So just keep an eye on that. We may see markets kind of get a little bit choppy and ugly again tonight because that is big important news. And then to follow that up on Friday, we have more big news. So it's kind of a heavy news period for sure. These last couple of days of this week. Okay, so here's what we've seen. The euro dollar broke out very nicely of this trend line, gave us a real nice break and a great run there. So as it's kind of broken out of that trend line, this was all kind of Fed news right here, and it just busted out really quick and didn't give us a lot of retracement. It's kind of just set here. Now, the important thing that we have to look for, though, is this 122 kind of 45-ish area has been very important over the last several days. We're talking about 5 days or so. The market has made a few attempts at getting below that. Here's our first open below. So we're just kind of bumping around below this level a little bit here. We've broken this larger trend line, and it looks like the euro may be ready to start heading back down and kind of give us a big double bottom on this low back here of about 2060. So I think we're headed back into that region there. Our target, though, our first initial target is going to be this guy right here, which is about 121.60, 121.65, right in that general area. What I would like to see on an entry here is I'd like to see some retracement back up into 122.45.50 area and sell there. Or if we look at kind of the high and low of this short-term range right here, we may see some retracement a little bit further into the 38% fib, which would put us around 122.65, or into the 50, which would put us around 122.75. So 65, 75 are going to be some areas. So we kind of have this 45 possible, 65 possible, 75 possible. These are kind of all areas to look for here. I ideally want to see if I can get in below about 122.50. I want to see if we can get an entry there, but keep an eye on stops. And again, we're going to need to have some stops kind of at least above that 38% fib, which would be above 122.65. And so that'll be something to keep an eye on. But again, trading this and looking to take this down into 121.60. So we're going to be looking for that entry to short the euro into that area after some retracement into 122.45, 50, 55 area. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. If for some reason we get a freak occurrence where that doesn't happen, an open above 123.15 is also going to be a major buying opportunity to take this up into the highs and beyond. So keep an eye on that as well. talking about this pound dollar here, there's nothing too exciting. The pound dollar is just kind of coming right back to support. It's been doing this for weeks now, where it just makes a big run, retraces, gives it all back, big run. So pound dollar is very channeled, getting very ugly the last couple of months. So there's quick movements to be had, but it's not my favorite pair right now, so I'm probably not going to do anything with it right this moment. Euro yen, great area on the euro yen. An open on the 1 hour chart above 96.30 should give us a nice little run back into that 38% fib, which is about 50 to 60 pips. That's a nice little run there, so I wouldn't hate to see that happen. And that puts us into about 96.85 or so. Otherwise, we're having a hard time with this level, 95.90. Below 95.90, we're still in the range of the last several days. I want to make a break. I want the market to open below 95.70. So just, 95.69 would be great. But we need to have a 1 hour candle open below this, and we're going to target the next major support, which is going to be, once again, about 50 pips, about 95.15.20 area. So that's what we're going to be looking for there. So let's keep our eyes peeled and be ready for that movement. An open above 96.30, an open below 95.70 is going to give us a buy or sell opportunity. And you can see that the market is currently about 30 pips away from one and just a little less than 30 pips away from the other. Remember, we do have Aussie dollar news. This is going to be important, but even with the news coming up, I'm still looking for an open above 105.35. That gives us a nice run above, or an open below. This is some decent little resistance, good little support, and it's right back to support again. 104.50. We get an open below 104.50, and we should see a nice little run downward. So watch these levels: 104.50, 105.35. Let's keep our eyes on both of those and be ready for the movement, for the activity. Let's definitely keep an eye on gold. If we can make a break, a good clean break of 1600. We opened just below 1600 here and here, but it's definitely finding some support, and we can see on the longer term time frames we're coming into that gap right there. But nice 4 hour crossover, looking for gold to continue down, and that should help the dollar rally if gold does continue down. So that's what we're going to keep an eye on. But really my attention is mostly on euro dollar, euro yen pairs right now, definitely with some attention on the Aussie dollar, keeping in mind that we have big Aussie news coming out in a couple of hours. Thanks a bunch, everybody. I'll keep you all updated on Twitter with some trade entries and updates we'll have coming shortly. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you there.